excuse me, it's all about brum, 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 rev up your vibes and come. It's how we do the job and how it gets done. Brum, 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 brum.
Yo, yo, yo. Don't get me wrong, I haven't wore this for a few days straight. Like, the reactions that you've seen me in this fucking t-shirt have been back to back. But the last one was Webby, So Free, and I said in that 3 of my favourite artists at the moment were Sa Rock, Webby, and this man here, who is by far one of the most slept on, underrated artists that are going today. Like, again, like Webby, he's just done the fans the great honour of releasing an absolutely outstanding album, self-titled Ali. I've done a few reactions of it, Prison, Clouds. Both of them tracks were fire, and quite frankly, every other one on the album is as well. Like, the guy, there's not many people that can lyrically match him, I'll tell you that. And I chose this freestyle here because I believe it is one of the best showcases that any artist could give. Like, it absolutely puts other fucking rappers in a box 6 foot under with no reply. And I've got the great privilege of fucking Locksmith following me on Twitter and Instagram, like, so props out to you, I appreciate that. This one's for you, just to fucking give them people a little inkling at the great fucking lyricism that you hold inside you, mate. Let's get into it. Locksmith, Freestyle, Shade45, K-Slay. One of the greatest verses you're gonna hear ever. And you've got a fucking elf telling you, so you know it's gotta be true. Let's get into it.
I chose something. I hope you didn't choose. That's Locksmith.
I know.
Number. Let's hear what you gonna put on.
What we got?
No weirdo shit.
What we got?
Let's hear it.
Okay. Yeah. K Slay.
Yeah.
Locksmith, Lofty Goals. Check it out. Look. Allow me to paraphrase the apparent phase I pedal toward, the space between chasing my dreams and what I'll settle for. Every new tier in my career is more clear. Focus on my core and keep these executives on a tether cord. I said it for a reason, mind you. People speculate, but to myself is the only label I'm signed to. And I don't feel the need to proceed, I'm reserved hardly. Do all the work and receive proceeds from a third party? That's absurd, sorry. I just prefer to be heard bar me. Rappers sign and disappear, commandeer a search party. Search far beyond the farce that you fraudulently falsified. A false guy you fabricating, the faith that you toss aside. I assault your pride, calling a lie like what's untrue. They rapping with such uncouth, they bending like Hut 1-2. No telling just what some do. We shun artists and praise social media starlets. No judging, I probably fuck one too. This is here, this is now, this is how we are viewed. We cop shoes before food, cause I
saying you don't fuck with that management side of rap, like, cause they just dip their hand in the pie and take what's rightfully yours. You're the fucking guy up there earning it, like, and quite rightly. Stayed independent, and just like Webby, released an album, give it to the fans, all through dedication and fucking want for the industry, like, that fucking want and need to release good music, and that's what he's done. And those are the kind of artists that I like fucking with. But he's saying that we idolise people on the internet. Look at fucking these social starlets, like, instead of fucking giving gratitude to proper artists, like Locksmith, for example. He's about to give you a lesson in this, believe it is absolutely next level shit.
Values askew, we spin bread to get breads. It's inbred, we've been bred, we've been fed and misled. We duck shots to misled. With this said, I'm trying to paint it clear as possible. Some people are roadblocks, I had to steer those obstacles. I would not let it swerve me like the clergy to the flock, or the distorted plot they try to smear this gospel through. My lyric and vocal expression has never been questioned, I know what it's worth. You cannot define, I try to confine what is inside, I try to pervert. But if it's this lame, I will disclaim with a disdain from a disdain, saying his name in a dismay. I will display, showing dismay. But on this day, my total intention, total the totem you hold hold for suspension. I'm engrossed in my own convictions. I know that my foes are stricken with jealousy and contingency, stalking my timeline, but make sure they never mention me. Lyrically, there's no comparing now. How come you don't collab more, Lock? In 3 words, niggas is terrified. I terrorize any rapper.
One of them words that I can't use because I'm a white boy, but Locksmith, why don't you collab more? Quite simple, because them is terrified. Wouldn't you be if that was the artist you had to follow? You'd hear his verse and you'd feel you'd have to write yours again. And then after you spit it, you'd probably listen to it and feel as if you need to write that fucking verse again just to sound as good as him. That's the kind of excellence and the level and the bars that he's going to bring other artists to. And I don't think there's many that can match him like, so that's why you don't collab more.
In any issue, fuck a tastemaker, cut off his tongue and tell him to wish you. Rappers use big words but don't be saying much to overcompensate for the music they had to rush. Instead of creative ways to convey what they feel as such, they try to overcomplicate through their lyrics, and that's a crutch. Clutching your notepad, you're so mad that you pretend, so you spit the most far out shit that you can pen. But when you try to sound smart without substance in your art, you're just as bad as the swagged out rappers that you condemn. Then a fan once wrote, we sick of gimmicks, see, you gotta be controversial and diss them for empathy. But if I only become worthy by giving you controversy, then in reality the only real gimmick is me. I don't need a sales pitch from some executive with a list trying to teach me how to tweet or consulting my statist. I've been at this thing for so long with practice, I can practically do a show anywhere on the atlas. If you at this nigga, better believe you at risk of being physically shunned. I become what I had this. I used to criticize others for lack of lyrical depth. Now I realize it's more than one way to earn your respect. They said I was slept on, I kept on. I painted the picture you sketched on. I feel like these rappers are so full of gas that they swallow the glass full of Tecron. Respect gone, so you hustle for lots of loot. I'd rather be known as unknown than be known as a prostitute. Look, would you rather be
He'd rather be known to be unknown than be slept on like a prostitute. A lot of artists these days, quite clear, you'll see, they'll do their first track with little in front of their name, no doubt these days, like tattoo by their right eye or something, like, I don't know, a little dab of hair dye in that fucking hair of theirs, like, and then before you know it, like, they've got a fucking album, 3 or 4 tunes, and every fucking track's getting like 900 million fucking views. Well, why do you think that is? Because, like he said, they've become prostitutes, like, and they've sold themselves for the fucking fortune and fame. And he's saying that he ain't gonna do that, like, independent to the core, and he's gonna release good music, whether it takes him a lifetime. He'd rather be known for being unknown, like, and you've got to give him respect for that, like. And like I said, tell me that this verse hasn't been fire. 2 minutes 58, and he said more stuff in it than most rappers' albums.
a whore or a slave? Would you rather be ignored or betrayed? Would you rather be gathered amongst cadavers covered in lime and forced to redefine whatever Lord you praise? That's the promise that they give and expect you to choose between the lesser two evils in hopes to confuse the mad sheep where they bathe in their own fecal, consuming the residue of revenue from the folks they abused. Now let's define who folks is. Folks are me and you in the lower bracket where most live, that don't give a shit that morality's in fatigue. Only imagery created by corporations and showbiz. And whether you know this and focus, whoever the foe is, and for this you try to invoke, which can never be noticed. So note this and put it in bold print. The minute you go vent, they try to establish that you was a savage the moment you want to expose this. If I follow a trend and try to pretend once, I essentially shoot myself for a fee. One thing that I've learned in the last 10 months, my only true competition is me. 1 minute they praise you, next minute they haze you. Either you underground or you a sellout joke.
That's tough, that is. His only competition is himself. And that's some hell of a competition to have, like. But it's the best way to be. Setting yourself goals, surpassing them, and never being happy with what you're putting out. Trying to better yourself every time, like. The guy's giving you an education. Quite simple.
Cause there's never been a rapper with my lyrical talent that has proven he can equally balance between both. I revoke any label or category you dealing with. People need boxes and other people to fill them with. Pass me off as one or the other instead of building with. That's the ignorance that I turn around and kill them with. That I turn around and steal them with. Word on the street, my nigga, is that you been a bitch. You want a revolution? Let's see. What better place to start with K Slay and me? That's how we do it. Lofty goes, man. I'm out of here.
Shade45, Street Sweeper Radio. I told y'all, the Locksmith here. I don't give a
Lofty goals. He's out of here. And all I'll say is new album, self-titled, Ali. I don't need to say any more. Peace out. See you in the next one.